If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that I like me some high quality audio gear, especially of the gaming variety. I reviewed a number of DAC amp combos before, but nothing quite like the Fosi K7. This is a balanced DAC amp with a number of inputs and outputs that's compatible with a wide variety of platforms, including game consoles. I've been running this as my main driver for a few weeks now, and there's a lot to love about it. If you're serious about audio equipment and want something to elevate your gaming experience, then you'll definitely want to pay attention. Not everyone is going to agree, so let's get into it. This product was sent to me for review, but I haven't been paid or influenced in any way, and everything I say is entirely my own opinion. Okay, so what makes the K7 different? Some of the quoted devices it's compatible with are the PC, Mac, PS4, PS5 and the Switch. Although with optical, coaxial and Bluetooth as options, the sky's kind of the limit. Beyond those inputs, you've also got USB-C and a 3.5mm for your microphone. For your outputs, you get RCA, a 3.5mm single-ended and a 4.4mm balanced. There aren't a huge number of balanced headsets, but I really appreciate having this option as I have a number of balanced headphones. It supports impedances ranging from 16 to 300 ohms, so it can drive everything from low impedance up to moderately high impedance headsets and headphones. Gaming headsets tend to have low impedance, and yeah, I had no problems driving anything that I threw at it. It's a compact device, which makes it perfect for desk setups or for sitting discreetly under a TV. The K7 is built like a tank. It has an all-aluminium alloy construction, and I'm pretty sure it's filled with solid concrete as it weighs 520 grams. On the device, there are two multi-purpose dials for adjusting volume, EQ, gain, and for muting the mic. There's a row of buttons that lets you toggle things like inputs, outputs, and the bypass. Most of these buttons are also multifunction, using short or long presses for different functions. There's a 1.5-inch LCD panel that indicates your current settings and levels. It's a nice enough screen, but you'll need to break out the microscope to see some of the UI elements. The output and USB mode icons are especially hard to see. While it will take you a moment to memorize where everything is, the controls are fairly intuitive. It has individual buttons for all of the primary commands, which keeps the number of controls to a minimum without being so minimal that it buries tons of settings and submenus. There is a slight angle to the front panel, but you're definitely going to want to place it somewhere where you can easily look down on it. This isn't suited to a setup where your amp sits under a shelf or a monitor stand. Now, there is one potential deal breaker in regards to features. The K7 doesn't mix game and chat audio. It looks like it might because it has two dials, but you're going to need to mix chat audio on the connected device. It also doesn't have side tone. Again, you'll need to manage this through the connected device's system settings. It does have mic volume control and mic mute though. The other thing that could be a deal breaker for some is the power brick. It doesn't run off USB-C alone, so just bear in mind that you'll need a spare power point. The K7 has a fairly straightforward EQ system. You get a low and high gain and adjustable bass and treble. There's no dedicated mid-range control. While it does store your settings when powered on, it doesn't support multiple saved profiles, so you can't have specific setups for different use cases without manually changing the levels. If you run it in bypass mode, which is your flat EQ setting, this can be used as a workaround of sorts. So for example, I mostly use it with the bypass active and toggle it off to use my custom EQ levels when listening to music. On the positive side, EQ levels can be passed through any of the outputs, including the RCA. It uses an AK4493 SEQ DAC, which is a high-quality audiophile grade DAC. And this is apparently a pretty good one in terms of producing low distortion and high dynamic range. I tested it with several headphones, including premium models like the Meze 109 Pro, and it delivered clean, undistorted performance with excellent dynamic range. I realized that the 109 Pro is likely going to be outside the average gamer's budget, but damn if it wasn't a good way to test the potential of this amp. If you're curious about this headphone, I'll have a separate video up for it soon. Like and subscribe. It doesn't just sound good with expensive headphones though. It delivers crisp audio with a variety of more affordable headphones and headsets. It has two USB modes. UAC 1.0 supports sample rates up to 48 kHz, and this is required for voice chat on devices like PlayStation and the Switch. UAC 2.0 is your high resolution mode that supports up to 384 kHz. You can toggle between the two modes on the amp, although you may need to manually set the sample rate in your operating system to access this higher quality mode. I briefly touched on the device compatibility earlier, but I wanted to add a bit more detail. Audio nerds will be happy that it includes a 4.4mm balanced output as well as 3.5mm. The K7 will run audio simultaneously through both outputs too, so this might be useful if you want to have a gaming headset and a pair of headphones connected at the same time, rather than needing to unplug things, or for two people to use at the same time. Bluetooth connectivity acts as an input, not an output, meaning you can connect a Bluetooth source like a phone or a handheld and send the audio to any of the outputs. For example, you could be on the couch playing some Switch and have the audio come through your speakers. Because it's input only, you can't use the microphone input to send voice chat back to the connected device. Bluetooth supports a bunch of different codecs like aptX, AAC, and SBC, and FOSI have quoted it as being under 40 milliseconds of latency. This will be suitable for casual gaming, although you might find it a bit sluggish for competitive games where timing is everything. To answer the inevitable comment, what about Xbox Bro? Unfortunately, due to Microsoft locking out most USB audio devices, it won't work through USB, meaning you can't get microphone input like you can on PlayStation. You could pass a signal into the K7 from your Xbox via optical though, so long as you have a HDMI to optical splitter in your connection chain. And what about Switch 2? Yeah, honestly, with the state of things at the moment with Nintendo threatening to ban Switch devices for using unauthorized accessories, I'm afraid I can't confirm compatibility. For what it's worth, it works via USB on the original Switch just fine. There's a couple of missing features here for gamers who use party chat and/or gamer-focused EQ presets, and there's no surround sound either. So if you need those features, check out one of the other amps I've reviewed, like the Creative Sound Blaster G8. For the audio enthusiast, there's a ton of cool shit here. The DAC supports high sample rates, and you get a balanced headphone output, making it an ideal multi-purpose desktop solution. It's hugely versatile with multiple inputs as well as output options. And if you own one or even a couple of high-quality headphones, it delivers powerful, crisp audio for both music and gaming without breaking the bank.